Hi, my name is Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer, and every single Friday I give you a macro top-down analysis video breaking down Bitcoin on the macro level, the S&P, the NASDAQ, gold. We're going to look at the dollar index, Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance, and more. Are you ready? Let's break it down. I'm so excited. I love technical analysis. I hope you're as passionate as I am. Let's break it down. Let's see what's happening. Let's look at the charts. So the first thing I want to do is look at BTC, and you can see Bitcoin is technically holding a trend line, right? Like it's you know, you could say it's like right on that trend line. It might wick off of it, but it's technically holding this trend line and inside of a zone. Your bullish scenario is that you might get a bounce here off this trend line back to the top of the range out. You could even make this into a possible inverted head and shoulder, like shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then still break to the upside. It's not amazing, but I'm just, giving you a little bit of opium to start. One thing I want to talk about, though, is if you're watching my channel and you saw the macro, we kept saying that the monthly cannot close below 102,005. I said it over and over again until I was blue in the face. I said there's no way we can do that. I said if we do that, we're going to likely drop back down here to 96,000. You can see that was the level right there. So the monthly said if you lose 102.5, you're going to come test 96,000. That's exactly what happened. If you lose 96,000, you could come test right there at 94, and then there's your sweet spot sitting at about $82,400. So you can clearly see if we get to 82K, it's possible. We're rolling over. There's some bearish div. It doesn't look amazing. The monthly, to me, is more bearish than bullish. The 2-week chart, same story, more bullish, bearish than bullish at that resistance, though. And we're just, resistance. We're just hugging this key area. We keep coming to 97,000, wicking, but not giving it all the way up. Could this be the one that gives us the tweezer bottom back to the upside? Let's take a look at that 3-day chart. The 3-day still looks like it's coming down. And one trick I want to teach you is when you lose the 200 moving average on the daily, you head to the 200 moving average on the 2-day. When you start to close candles below the 2-day 200 moving average, you head to the 3-day 200 moving average. So it just tells me that once we lose this level, we're likely going to drop down to $87,000. It just looks very likely. So 87K to me is about 60 to 65% likely. There is a chance, what a beautiful double bottom there, but there is a chance that we could possibly bounce here and get back to the upside. It is making a bit of a falling wedge. Falling wedges do break up 68% of the time. It's getting tight, but we have to know that we're pushing it each time we get into these high risk zones. And so for me, most likely you are going to drop down to that 3-day 200 moving average. Let's take a look at the daily. The daily also doesn't look amazing. It's trying to put in some bullish divergence, but really not amazing. What you would really want to see the daily do is turn this into a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. And that's just going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like 10, 12 days, maybe even 2 weeks in total, right? So that's going to take some time as well. Sorry, I didn't mean to shrink the chart there. Bear with me. We're still on this inverted head and shoulder on the daily. Remember, we're going to kind of continue to cook now. 22 in the 12-hour time frame, both oversold. 4-hour time frame. See, the 4 hours attempting that tweezer bottom now. It just closed the candle not too long, about an hour ago, at the tweezer bottom. I'd like to see a secondary candle and this thing move back to the 21-day moving average, or the 21 moving average. That's going to be the sauce. So we had the head and shoulder. We lost it. We hit this key level. Is that it? Do we bounce back to the top of the channel now? If anything, it kind of suggests that we may. You go to look at the 1-hour time frame, and again, it's back to that idea, and then to the 15, and then I'm going to zoom in for you and show you what's happening. So we've got this shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's, you want to keep intact. And then you also want to see if you can make a right shoulder here, but also possibly make something that, make this move, this flag, so we could get this bounce. You'd look for the 21 to touch on that 15 for us to continue if you're just watching to see what price action could do. That might happen when you watch this. Just keep looking at that 4-hour to see if the 4-hour closes the tweezer bottom and then heads back up to resistance here at about 99,200. Then I want to look at Bitcoin dominance. I want to see how much money has been flowing in and out of Bitcoin right now compared to the rest of the market. And you can see some of the altcoins actually don't look too bad. We actually spent some good amount of time on the altcoins on the live stream today, and I saw like 4 or 5, specifically some privacy and others, but I saw 4 or 5 that looks like they could continue to do damage. So it looks like this was the retest, and that's a bearish retest now. It suggests that you do go lower. The area we're looking for is about 55%. So Bitcoin dominance, looking like it may take a beat down here. Let's kind of zoom out too, though, and look at the bigger picture. You always have to zoom out because you can get caught up looking at, I see a head and shoulder pattern about to play out here. So it almost tells me like maybe there's that time, like Bitcoin gave it all up. And now the money is going to flow into altcoins. They're waiting on the sidelines for the best opportunity. Wouldn't this be it? And so it looks to me like there could be a drop here in Bitcoin dominance. And then after that, I feel like once the weekends are shaken out, I mean, there would be a nice chance to get back to the upside. So Bitcoin dominance looks like it is going to fall. That could be good for the altcoins, but it depends. Let's take a look at US Tether dominance. We want to see Tether dominance also looking bearish. If Tether dominance isn't looking bearish with that same move, we could be in for a bit of a ride here. You can see, look at that. I mean, there's a giant inverted head and shoulder on Tether dominance on the weekly. That's not amazing, right? That suggests that you could go higher. You are a little far from the 21-day moving average, but things are looking pretty nice. Wow, the 3-day too as well, and then that daily. So this looks, sad to say, like there could be some more downside here for Bitcoin because Tether looks like it'll go on this leg. And it's above it, using it as resistance. And I could be wrong, but right now that looks bullish. And if Tether dominance is bullish, it usually means that Bitcoin's money's going to flow out of the altcoins into Bitcoin and into stable coins, right? And so that's kind of what I'm starting to see. That doesn't look amazing. Let's take a look at the total market cap in all of cryptocurrency, total, and see how we're holding up. Total really needed to hold this key level as we look at it. It was kind of okay important here that total stayed, even right there. But you can see you fell out, made a bearish retest, fell out, made a bearish retest, fell out, and then continued to fall further to the downside. So total is tough right now when you look at it. To me, it fell out of the pattern. Still could be a chance it breaks out small ball, but not amazing, right? This is the entire market cap of all the cryptocurrencies because it's getting bogged down by BTC. And even if we were to extend these this level, yeah, maybe you get the bounce. But like I can't stand whenever I keep extending. Like, this was the trend line in my humble opinion. You can't keep playing with it. Like that was okay. Now you're just like, so almost keep it here. Can you V-shape recovery back inside? Right. So that to me looks somewhat bearish, right? And it looks like if Bitcoin drops, this will drop somewhere to $388 trillion. Total 2 should be a little, total 3, which is all the altcoins excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, they should be a little less forgiving. And it is. It's holding that 2-day 200 moving average. Look, I'll show you. See, it's right on it. And as long as we keep a candle above that 2-day 200, we have a chance for the altcoins to actually stabilize and get some type of movement here in this Santa rally. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but we do have a chance. And the measured move would be the length of this pole to the upside. It would be a beautiful move, somewhere up to about $1.82 trillion. So that would be amazing. And that would really propel us further to the upside. This bounce would be oh so important. If in a few days you're kind of slumping like this, then that's a right shoulder maybe, shoulder, head, right shoulder, and this thing is coming down. But maybe it gets a pop. It starts to go sideways and saves the day. So we'll watch it closely. My prediction is that we can get the bounce. They're going to print money. Total 3 looks interesting. Risk on assets, could erupt. But the second we start to lose the 200 on the 2-day, I'm definitely going to flip a little bearish, and we're going to have to get back above it pretty fast. For me to not to, consider that a very, very bearish move. Moving forward, let's take a look at the DXY, which is the dollar. I want to see what's happening to the dollar on all U.S. currency. So, what's interesting, the dollar to me is in a bear flag that looks like it's going to go lower. Yes, a double bottom. Yes, a bounce back, but hit resistance. Look for it to kind of go sideways, shoulder, head, right shoulder, break to the downside. If the dollar drops, it's only going to be good for altcoins and Bitcoin and pump the rest of the market. With the dollar out there, let's take a look at gold because gold basically has been on an absolute tear again. And I told you it was going to pull back into this pattern, and that's exactly what it did. Went up, came down, went up, and it's going to come back down. And, I kind of have this here for the last time gold did this, so anyone who wants to could become a gold rock star. It's not that, you just got to keep watching these charts and keep it tight. So gold looks good. The pattern for gold is, the target is $5,281. And I got this from here by using what's called the bars pattern. You go over here and you just hit bars pattern. Right? I think it's right. It's like, where is it? Yeah, it's right there. Bars pattern. You click on it. Like, say I wanted this bar here. I could just take any bar. It will just take them and replicate them for you. Pretty sweet. So I like it. Gold looks interesting. I like what I'm looking at for gold. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. Everyone is bugging out. We have a lot of people online that are saying we're going to take a tumble to the downside. It's all over. I kind of see a different story here. I see money printing. I see this is the main place where retail puts their money over time. This is where everyone just says, oh, you get your percentage a year and it's great and yada, yada, yada. And no one wants to really work. No, but the idea is this, right? Very tight on the 3-hour time frame. Doesn't mean we're out of the water yet. But hey, there's a place for us to possibly speculate on the market tomorrow. That's a good thing, right? No stress. S&P futures, I like what I'm seeing here. It gets back inside that pump, then goes sideways. We have ourselves lift off to the upside. That's could take you to about 7,370, okay, on the S&P futures. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, and again, if the S&P doesn't, if the S&P loses that double bottom, we're in for some trouble. Same thing happened to NASDAQ today. Like it dumped in shoulder, head, right shoulder. It's crazy, right? It turned into a head and shoulder pattern that looks absolutely, if that doesn't dump, you'd have to wonder what's happening. And so, again, same kind of story, though, where it's to me, making like this first low, there's this. I mean, I see a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. So I'm catching more downside. I don't know. It's very risky, in my humble opinion. And you never should feel like you have to chase, right? Once you feel like you have to chase, that means something's going on, right? So I don't know. I'm not a fan of the curving 21. I am a fan of the 200 coming up, and then the tightness is good. That's a great thing, actually. And then 29,490. But we definitely need a bounce sooner than later for the S&P, in my humble opinion. We got to get this bounce here and start to consolidate. That's going to be very, very, very important. Okay. So that's Bitcoin total 3, Bitcoin dominance, Tether dominance, gold, and then also the S&P futures and the NASDAQ. I hope you like this update to kind of put you into a perspective of where we're going. You can zoom out, not get so emotional, and you can be in control. Zoom out, use the information to let go of those emotions. They're only going to wreck you in the end. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying you should be taking as financial advice. Okay, please get yourself a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence before getting into any project, coin, or trade. But I love what I do. I'm passionate about TA. And if you like the way I presented the technical analysis, you can watch me Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Also, an impromptu live stream on Saturday and Sunday morning, somewhere between about 7:30 and 10 in the morning. So 4 live streams on the weekend. Nobody does that, really. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm the Crypto Lifer. I'm out. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay blessed. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life.